Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that moves faster than ever, where your attention is constantly pulled in 1,000 directions, where noise has become the background music of your life, and where everyone seems to be running towards something, yet no one really knows what, we've forgotten one crucial thing: ourselves. We've forgotten how to sit still. We've forgotten how to listen. We've forgotten that the answers we're desperately searching for out there have always been within. This message today is not about motivation. It's not about hype. It's about truth. The kind that's uncomfortable, raw, and real. The kind of truth that doesn't ask for applause but demands action. Because no one is coming to hand you your purpose. No one is going to gift you clarity. You have to go get it. And that journey doesn't start with hustle. It starts with silence. What if I told you that your entire life could shift by doing one thing, just one? No, it's not about working harder. It's not about impressing others. It's not even about finding your passion in the typical sense. It's about reconnecting with the core of who you are. You see, we spend so much time looking for meaning in the external world. Jobs, relationships, titles, achievements. We run towards success but often feel empty when we arrive. Why? Because purpose doesn't live outside you. It's buried under years of noise, trauma, expectation, and distraction. And until you get still, until you get quiet, you'll keep spinning in circles. Busy, but lost. This message is for the one who's tired. For the one who's been doing everything right, but still feels wrong inside. For the one who has checked all the boxes, but feels like something vital is missing. You didn't lose your purpose. You were simply never taught how to hear it. So today, I invite you to pause. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because before you go chasing the next thing, you need to return to you. This journey we're about to take isn't loud. It's not glamorous, but it is transformative. You will be challenged to face silence, to reflect deeply on questions that might shake you, to rise above self-centered goals and live for something greater, to follow the fire within you, no matter how quietly it burns right now. Purpose is not about who notices you. It's about whether you notice what truly matters. So if you've been searching, if you've been questioning your path, if something inside you is whispering there's more to life than this, you're not lost. You're just being called to go deeper. And it starts right here, right now, with this first step. Let us begin. There's something most people never do in their entire lifetime. And because of that, they never truly understand who they are or why they're here. It's not a complicated thing. It's not a secret found in books or behind a guru or in a faraway land. It's something simple, something quiet, but something so powerful that if you do it just once, truly do it, you'll never see life the same again. What is it? Stillness, silence, complete presence with yourself. The world today is built to keep you moving. From the moment you wake up, you're plugged in. Notifications, emails, responsibilities. You scroll through other people's lives before even connecting to your own. You chase goals without asking if they're even your goals. You're constantly reacting, constantly doing, but rarely just being. And in all that noise, your true self, the part of you that holds the key to your purpose, gets drowned out. But here's the truth. Your soul already knows what you're meant to do. It knows who you are. It knows what lights you up and what breaks you down. It knows your purpose. The problem is, you've never given it space to speak. That's why I challenge you. Do this once. Find a quiet place. Turn off every distraction. No phone, no music, no outside noise. Just you and stillness. Sit down. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let the thoughts come. Let them go. You don't need to control them. You're not trying to figure anything out. You're simply creating space. And in that space, something incredible happens. At first, it might be uncomfortable. Your mind will try to fill the silence with noise, worry, or to-do lists. Stay with it. Breathe. Let the silence do its work. Eventually, the storm calms, and what's left is you, raw, real, and honest. You may hear a whisper of truth, a dream you buried, a passion you ignored, a part of yourself you silenced for the sake of fitting in. That whisper is your soul. And when you hear it, even for a moment, you'll feel it. a deep resonance, a clarity, a sense of this is who I am. That is the beginning of knowing your purpose. Because your purpose is not out there. It's not something you find in the world. It's something you remember in the silence. Do this once. Sit with yourself. Be still. Be silent. And just listen. That's all it takes to begin your journey to a life of meaning. Just one moment of truth. In complete silence. Reflect deeply. Ask yourself the right questions. Once you've stepped into stillness and faced the silence, the next step is just as important. It's the part most people avoid, not because it's hard, but because it forces them to confront the truth. It's reflection, but not just casual thinking. This is deep, honest, uncomfortable reflection. You see, most people live life on autopilot. They follow a script handed to them by society, by their parents, by fear or by comfort. They chase money, status, approval, and somewhere along the way they forget to ask, why am I doing this? That's why I'm asking you today to pause and reflect. Not tomorrow, not next week. Yeah. Because one powerful question asked with complete honesty can realign your entire life. It can wake you up. It can reconnect you with your purpose. So ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? Not what's realistic, not what's safe. What would you do if fear wasn't in the picture? Would you leave that toxic job? Would you write that book? Would you speak your truth even if no one else clapped? Your purpose hides behind the fears you haven't faced yet. But when you start reflecting, truly reflecting, you begin to see what you were born for. Another powerful question. When do I feel most alive? Think about it. There are moments when time disappears, when you're not thinking about money, approval, or success. You're just there, fully present, fully engaged, fully alive. That's not an accident. That's alignment. That's a signpost pointing directly to your purpose. And finally, ask yourself this. What pain have I been through that shaped me? Because often, your greatest purpose is born from your deepest pain. The heartbreak you survived, the loss you endured, the betrayal that cut deep. Those moments didn't break you. They built you. They gave you compassion, wisdom, strength. And those qualities, they're meant to serve others. See, purpose isn't always about grand achievements or changing the world overnight. Sometimes, it's simply about using your story to light the path for someone else. But you won't see that if you never reflect. If you never stop to ask these hard, beautiful questions. So take time, grab a journal, sit alone with your thoughts. Be brutally honest, be vulnerable, be real. Because the moment you start asking the right questions is the moment your purpose starts to become clear. But someone else's purpose, not a borrowed dream. Your purpose, rooted in your story, fueled by your truth. This is how you begin to live intentionally. This is how you start walking in alignment. This is how you come home to yourself. Do this once, truly reflect. And you'll never again settle for a life that doesn't feel like yours. Serve beyond yourself. Now that you've faced the silence and reflected honestly, there's one truth you must understand. Purpose is never just about you. It starts within you, but it expands far beyond. If you truly want to know the meaning of your life, ask yourself this. Who benefits from my growth? Whose life improves because I didn't give up? What will I serve simply by being fully me? Because the moment your life becomes about more than just yourself, everything changes. That's when you stop chasing empty validation and start living from conviction. That's when you stop asking what can I get and start asking what can I give. That's when the fog lifts and your purpose becomes crystal clear. You weren't born to just exist. You were born to impact. And the most powerful way to do that is to serve. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be rich. You don't need a stage or a spotlight. You just need to show up for someone else. With heart, with humility, with presence. Of space for someone who's hurting. Use your voice to speak truth. Use your story to help someone feel seen. Use your talents, no matter how small they seem, to lift someone up. This is where your life starts to matter in a deeper way. Because real fulfillment doesn't come from what you have. It comes from what you give, from who you become in the process of giving. And don't wait until you're perfect. Don't wait until you've made it. Start now with what you've got. Because someone out there needs exactly what you carry. Your scars, your lessons, your growth, They are not just for you. They are the tools, the bridge, the light that can guide someone else home. When you begin to serve others, you begin to see yourself differently. You begin to rise, not in ego, but in purpose. Not in status, but in significance. And you start to realize, this is why I'm here. Not just to make money, not just to survive another week, but to leave something behind. To make someone's burden lighter. To leave people better than you found them. That's purpose. That's legacy. That's meaning. So if you're still searching, start serving. Serve through your words, your kindness, your craft, your courage. Show up fully, give fully, and trust that in doing so your life will take on a depth you never imagined. Because the moment you make it about more than just you is the moment you'll understand what life is really about. Do this once. Serve beyond yourself, and you'll feel the pulse of your true purpose beating inside you. Follow what sets your soul on fire. There's something inside you that lights up when you're doing the right thing. A spark that ignites when you're aligned with your true calling. And when you follow that spark, it leads you directly to your purpose. But most people never follow it. They ignore it. They silence it. They tell themselves it's not practical. It's not realistic. Or it's too risky. So they bury their passion beneath routines, responsibilities, and other people's opinions. But let me tell you something real. That fire in your soul is not a mistake. It's a compass. And if you're bold enough to follow it, it will guide you to a life that matters. Ask yourself, what makes time disappear for you? What activity, topic, or dream keeps tugging at your heart even when you try to forget it? What fills you with energy instead of draining it? That's not random. That's alignment. That's your soul trying to speak through the noise. And when you start walking in the direction of that fire, no matter how slowly, no matter how uncertain, you begin to wake up. You begin to live with intensity, with clarity, with direction. You no longer feel lost because your steps now have meaning. You no longer feel like you're drifting because you're finally headed towards something real. Now listen carefully. Following your fire doesn't always mean quitting your job or flipping your life upside down. It means starting where you are with what you have. Maybe it's setting aside 1 hour a day to work on your dream. Maybe it's taking a course, starting a blog, writing a song, opening your heart. Maybe it's just saying yes to what excites you and no to what drains your soul. Purpose doesn't scream at you, it whispers. And those whispers show up in the things that move you, inspire you, and pull you towards something bigger. The problem is, we've been taught to fear those whispers. We've been trained to suppress our fire, to chase what's secure instead of what's sacred. But purpose lives in that sacred space. And the moment you allow yourself to pursue what moves you, you'll feel something shift inside. You'll feel more alive, more grounded, more focused. Because you're not meant to live numb. You're meant to live ignited. You're meant to create, to express, to grow in the direction of your passions, not shrink for the sake of comfort. So do this once. Take one step in the direction of your fire. One step toward what sets your soul ablaze. And watch what happens. Doors will open, clarity will come, energy will rise. And suddenly, the question, what's my purpose, will begin to answer itself. Because your fire will show you. All you have to do is follow it. Serve others with what you've been given. When it comes to discovering your purpose, there's one powerful truth you must never forget. Your purpose is not just about you. It's about what you can give to the world. It's about how your life, your voice, your gifts can make a difference for someone else. The world is hurting, people are struggling. And while everyone is searching for success, the ones who feel truly fulfilled are the ones who serve. Now, service doesn't always mean starting a non-profit or giving everything away. It simply means living in a way that adds value to others. It means using what you've learned, what you've overcome, what you've been gifted with to lift someone else. That's where real purpose lives. That's where your life begins to feel meaningful on a whole new level. Because here's the secret. Success without service is empty. But success with service, that's legacy. That's where your story becomes a tool for healing. Your talent becomes a blessing. Your pain becomes a platform. Every one of us is here for a reason. Not to just survive, but to contribute. Not to just get by, but to give something to this world that only we can give. Maybe your story can inspire someone who's on the edge. Maybe your journey through failure can help someone else stand back up. Maybe your gift, whether it's in speaking, writing, building, healing, teaching, maybe that gift is the light someone else has been waiting for. And when you finally realize that your purpose is tied to someone else's breakthrough, you stop playing small. You stop doubting your voice. You stop hiding your light. Because now, it's not about you, it's about them. Every great purpose starts with this question: how can I use what I have to help someone else? When you live with that mindset, everything changes. You stop chasing validation and start chasing impact. You stop measuring your worth by numbers and start measuring it by how deeply you touch lives. And guess what? The more you serve, the more fulfilled you feel. Because serving others connects you to something greater. It gives your struggle meaning. It gives your blessing a purpose. So if you want to find your true purpose, do this once. Ask yourself who you can help with what you've lived through. Start where you are, with your story, with your gift, with your heart. Speak life. Share truth. Give generously. Love fearlessly. Because at the end of the day, the purpose of life is not just to find yourself. It's to lose yourself in the service of others. When you do that, when you live to give, you won't just know your purpose. You'll feel it in every step you take. Ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of a message that wasn't crafted to entertain you. It was crafted to awaken you. We live in a world obsessed with volume, louder voices, faster answers, bigger success. But in all the noise, something sacred has been forgotten. Your inner voice. The quiet, persistent whisper that knows exactly who you are, what you value, and what you're here to do. That whisper isn't broken. It isn't lost. It's just buried. And now you've started to unearth it. You've learned that your transformation doesn't begin with external change. It begins with stillness. In silence, you meet the real you, not the curated version for social media, not the people pleaser or the performer. Just you, raw, honest, present. That moment of silence, that's where clarity is born. Then you moved into reflection. You asked the hard questions. The kind that most people avoid their entire lives. You looked at your fears, your pain, your joy, your story. And from those deep, honest moments, a new understanding began to emerge. That your life isn't random. That your experiences, both beautiful and brutal, were shaping you for something greater. Because here's the truth. Your purpose doesn't scream. It whispers. It's not chasing trends or applause. It's rooted in truth, shaped by your story and revealed in your quietest moments. But it doesn't end there. Real purpose expands beyond you. The journey doesn't stop at finding inner peace or gaining clarity. The final, most powerful step is service. It's when you take everything you've learned, the silence, the reflection, the growth, and you offer it to the world. Not because you have to, but because you can. Because someone out there is where you once were. Lost, hurting, searching. And they don't need perfection from you, they just need your authenticity. That's how lives change. Not through fame or fortune, but through presence, through compassion, through choosing to show up again and again with a heart ready to give. So if you've been asking, what's my purpose? This is your answer. Sit in silence, reflect with courage, serve with love, not once, but often. Let it become your rhythm. Let it guide your days, and you'll never feel lost again, because you'll be anchored in something unshakable. You don't need to have it all figured out today. You just need to begin. Begin with one moment of silence, one honest question, one act of service, and then do it again tomorrow. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin. Heavy lines. So breathe deep, get still, listen closely, and step forward. Not with fear, but with quiet, bold purpose. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who are awake. Now go be one of them.